Today I want to talk a little bit about the issue of free speech and whether or not Ann Coulter or anybody else should be banned from speaking on campus or anywhere else that somebody else wants her to come and speak. It's disturbing to me that there are so many people going out and protesting whether or not people have a right to say something in public. It should be a no-brainer. If you have a problem with what that person is saying, then what you should do is go to their event and engage that person. If they're not willing to engage you, if they don't want to have a debate, then don't go to the event. If people are willing to go and listen to somebody give a lecture on earthworms, and you don't like earthworms, then don't go to the lecture. And that principle right there has to do with anything. Regardless of what a person says, whatever they feel about the issue, you do not have the right to tell them that they can't speak. Now, there are certain instances where speech has inflamed crowds, it's incited riots, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that those crowds had a bloodlust to begin with, and somebody could have stood up in front of the crowd and said anything at all, and they would have gone out and committed violence. I've seen it happen with my own eyes. I was one time in 1989 when I was in Paris and people were shouting off with their heads. I was actually one of those people. We were perturbed at the fact that there were people standing up in front of us. We had sat in a nice place there in front of the Eiffel Tower. We were going to watch the fireworks display. And, of course, it was Bastille Day after all. So that whole off with their heads thing, it was kind of tongue-in-cheek. The point of the matter is this. Speech ought to be free. It ought not to get you landed in jail. People have a right to protest what you say. They certainly do. But they don't have a right to keep you from saying it. And this is the more important thing. You don't have a right to keep somebody else from saying something that you disagree with or maybe think you disagree with. This is part of the problem here, too, with the Ann Coulter thing. They didn't even want to hear her. They're not interested in having an argument and having a discussion and having a debate. They simply did not want her there. Well, we'll just let that hang for a moment because we see, I think, a wave that's happening right now, and I think it's going to continue to grow until it's a tsunami, until we have something very similar to what is going on in China right now, where you cannot say anything without government approval. Is that what you want? It's certainly not what I want. If you want to engage me on this, perhaps I've missed something. Send me an email, steve@radiofreespeech.com. Thank you very much.